Happy Tuesday and welcome back to Book Talk Tuesday. So today I'm in the kitchen. This is a place that I've already organized. Our pantry is very organized. I don't have to do that again. But today, after I finish this, I'm going to be making some peanut butter banana muffins. We have some old bananas, and that's the best thing to do with old bananas is make muffins. Or I'll freeze them and I put them in smoothies. Anyway, we love peanut butter banana muffins over here, and they go really fast. So I'm doing that next. I don't know about you, but every day I get up, I have to check the calendar to see what day it is because I can't even keep track anymore. I'm ready to go back to school. I miss you guys. If you go to my school, every Monday and Thursday, we have a Zoom meeting. They started this week, a lunch bunch. You can just sit down with me and we're gonna just see who pops on and talk about books we're reading. If you need recommendations, if you've read something great that you want to tell people about, it's a great time to do it. So it is in the newsletter that our principal sent out on Friday. She sent it out on Friday. It'll be in the next one on Friday as well. So I'd love to see you. You should join us. It's 12 o'clock Mondays and Thursdays. Okay, so I have been reading like crazy. On my Goodreads account, I have kept track of every single book, and my goal for the year was 50 because Mrs. Morgan at school said she could read 50 and my number was lower, so I bumped it up. And I think I'm at 36 right now. So now I'm going to try to get to 50 before we go back to school. So one book that I just read recently is Mighty Jack. I haven't read this one before. It's a graphic novel. Lots of kids read this series. This is the same author that did, and illustrator, Zeta, the Space Girl. And in the most recent Zeta, I think Mighty Jack, or I don't remember which series it is, but there's a crossover. So Zeta and Mighty Jack are in the same book. It's more of a modern day Jack and the Beanstalk, but the beans that Jack purchases with very little money that he traded his mom's car for them. Not a good idea. The beans are, it's evil. The garden is evil, and he's got to do something about it before horrible, horrible things happen. So that was good. I also just read Smart Cookie by Ellie Schwartz. I've been wanting to read this one for a long time. So the girl in this story, she really feels like her mom has died, and she feels like she doesn't have a complete family. It's she and her dad, and her grandmother lives with them at their bed and breakfast that they purchased. So she thinks it's time to be a family again, so she decides to sign her dad up for an online dating service without his knowledge. So she does this at the same time people are spreading rumors about their bed and breakfast being haunted, so they are having less and less customers. Her grandma is starting to act weird, like she's putting on lipstick and perfume, and things are just off in her world, and she wants to get to the bottom of all these things, plus she wants a mom. So it was fun. It was a fun book to read. I really enjoyed this. This book, The Hero Next Door, is a book of short stories, and I brought a couple of them home with me before when we got out of school for spring break, because I don't just want to sit down and read a whole book of short stories at one time, but what I've been doing is after every book I finish, I just started it, like I think I'm in the fourth story in here. I just read a short story. It's kind of like my in-between that I do. So that's kind of fun. And I've been listening to lots of books. Of course, you guys know that because I listen to books all the time. So the thing about Jellyfish, can you see it? There, kind of. Anyway, the thing about Jellyfish is by Allie Benjamin. She also wrote the one about Polly Fink. This book is about a girl whose best friend, they were best friends for a long time, and then this last school year something happened, and they weren't as close as they had used to be. But this girl's friend died swimming in the ocean, and she was an amazing swimmer. So Susie, when her friend died, stopped speaking. She just didn't talk anymore. She didn't have anything to say that she wanted to say to anybody. But she truly believed with all her heart that her friend died from a jellyfish bite. But nobody had talked about that, and nobody is investigating this, and it's really bothering her. So she goes to great lengths to try to prove this, doing some pretty unconventional things and not really speaking to anybody except one kid at school she starts speaking to because he doesn't really care if she talks or not. So I enjoyed that one. The other one that I listened to before that was Saving Marty. Saving Marty. This one is by Paul Griffin. He also wrote When Friendship Followed Me Home, which is an amazing book about a kid who he was a foster kid, and his caseworker ended up adopting him, and then they found a dog, like in this book. They found a dog that was just a mess and ended up keeping him, but there were lots of things that happened in that book that really kept trying to tear down this poor kid. Anyways, in Saving Marty, Marty is a pig. And so this kid ends up adopting this runt pig, and mom keeps saying, you can't keep it, we cannot have a pig, you're gonna have to get rid of it. And they get to the point where the pig is just so gigantic they can't keep it, and they are having money problems anyway, so they need to sell it. And I can't remember what the boy's name. Marty is the pig. Anyway, this kid, Renzo, his name is Renzo. He decides he is going to get Marty somewhere safe before his mom can sell him off. And so he tries that, and things never go as we planned. So anyway, that one's good. And then Listen Slowly is, you probably can't see that. The lighting's terrible. The author's last name is Lai, L-A-I. She's the same person that wrote Inside Out and Back Again, which is a novel in verse. This is about a girl who goes to Vietnam for the summer. She's just supposed to go for a couple weeks. She's going with her dad and her grandmother because grandma needs closure. Grandma came to the United States during the war and left her husband there fighting, and she never heard from him again, and she wants closure. She wants to know what's going on. Mai is mad that she has to go. She wants to spend the summer on the beach with her friends, and she is not happy about this. But the longer that she's there, the more she realizes how important this is to her grandmother and how important it is for her to experience this part of a culture that's her culture that she didn't really know anything about. I loved it. I liked Inside Out and Back Again. I think this one I like this one maybe a little bit more. I don't know why. I don't know. That she had a lot of things in common with me, I guess. I'm not sure. I've never been to Vietnam, though. Anyway, it is National Poetry Month, and I haven't talked about that. But if you want to go back to one of my book talks from January, I think it's January 28th, I do one on novels in verse. So if you want novels that are written in, in a rhythm, there are lots of great ones out there. Kwame Alexander is one of my favorites, but there are lots. So that's another one you can go back and look at on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook Book Talk Tuesday page. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys are taking advantage of this time to just read lots of books.